Hello, a pleasant day to you. Nigeria's opposition politics is once again be thrown into the spotlight after a senior figure in the Nigerian Democratic Congress, NDC, alleged that powerful interests are working behind the scenes to destabilize the party ahead of the 2027 presidential election. Moses Paul, a former chairmanship candidate of the Abuja Municipal Area Council under the NDC platform, has claimed that recent controversies surrounding the party are part of deliberate efforts to weaken what many supporters see as one of the strongest opposition movements preparing for the next national election. Speaking during an interview on Arise television, Paul argued that the growing disputes, accusations, and political tensions currently making headlines are not ordinary disagreements, but part of a broader campaign aimed at creating division within the party. According to him, the ultimate objective is to cripple the NDC before it can fully establish itself as a major force in the 2027 election. The agenda is to bring NDC to its knees, Paul said. His comments come at a time when the party has been facing intense scrutiny following its recent primary elections, which have generated both excitement and controversy among party members and political observers. Over the last few weeks, several allegations have emerged concerning candidate selection processes, primary election outcomes, and internal party management. Some aspirants have publicly expressed dissatisfactions, while others have questioned aspects of the party's electoral procedures. These controversies have created an atmosphere of uncertainty within sections of the party and provided ammunition for critics who argued that the NDC may be struggling to manage its growing influence and membership. However, Moses Paul believes the situation is being exaggerated by individuals who want to see the party fail. According to him, efforts are being made to manufacture crisis and create the impression that the NDC is deeply divided. He specifically pointed to the party's presidential candidate, Peter Obi, as one of the main targets of these alleged efforts. Paul insisted that Obi has been unfairly dragged into several controversies and accused by opponents of actions he did not commit. According to him, Peter Obi did not personally nominate candidates during the party's primary process and did not influence many of the decisions being attributed to him. The agenda is to bring NDC to its knees. To the best of my knowledge, Peter Obi did not nominate and he did not influence any of all of those, Paul stated. The former AMAC candidate argued that critics are attempting to link Obi to internal disputes in order to damage both his reputation and the credibility of the party. He maintained that Obi remains focused on building the party and strengthening its chances ahead of the next election cycle. Beyond Peter Obi, Paul also expressed concern about what he described as attempt to create divisions among some of the most influential figures within the NDC. He identified Peter Obi, Senator Musa Kwankwaso, and Senator Dickson as key pillars of the movement. According to him, there are ongoing efforts to create misunderstandings and mistrust among these leaders in order to weaken the party's unity. Paul referred to the trio as the three wise men of the NDC and warned supporters against falling into what he described as a trap designed to divide them. What gets to happen, especially with what you see with the NDC, with Peter Obi and Kwankwaso moving in, is that people are trying all kinds of things to ensure that there is chaos and anarchy even within the party, he said. Political observers note that maintaining unity within the coalition movement is often one of the biggest challenges facing opposition parties in Nigeria. The NDC has attracted politicians from different political backgrounds, ideological perspectives, and regional interests. While this broad coalition has strengthened the party's national profile, it has also increased the complexity of managing competing ambitions and expectations. Historically, opposition alliances in Nigeria have frequently faced internal disagreements over leadership positions, candidate selection, and power sharing arrangements. Many coalition movements have struggled to remain united as elections approach and political stakes become higher. Supporters of the NDC argue that the party must avoid repeating those mistakes if it hopes to present a serious challenge in 2027. For many party loyalists, unity among key figures such as Obi, Kwankwaso, and Dickson is viewed as critical to maintaining momentum. Paul believes that those who fear the growing popularity of the party understand this reality and are therefore trying to create internal conflict before the election campaign reaches full intensity. He suggested that reporters should remain focused on the party's broader goals rather than becoming distracted by controversies and accusations. The remarks also highlight the increasingly competitive political environment taking shape ahead of the 2027 elections. As opposition parties continue to recognize and position themselves, political rivalries are becoming more intense. Parties are not only competing against the ruling establishment, but are also battling to maintain internal cohesion and public confidence. For the NDC, the coming months may prove crucial. The party will need to demonstrate that it can effectively manage disagreements, address concerns raised by members, and maintain unity amongst its leadership. How it responds to these challenges and could significantly influence public perception and voter confidence ahead of the election. Despite the controversies, Paul Moses remains optimistic about the party's future. He believes the NDC remains strong and capable of overcoming attempts to destabilize it. According to him, supporters should not allow themselves to be discouraged by the current wave of political attacks and negative narratives. Instead, he urged members to remain focused on building movement capable of offering Nigerians an alternative political vision in 2027. Whether the NDC can successfully navigate these challenges remains to be seen. What is clear, however, is that the battle for political influence ahead of the next presidential election has already begun, and the struggle for unity within opposition ranks may become just as important as the contest against rival parties. So, what do you think? Are the controversies within the NDC genuine internal disagreements, or is there a coordinated effort to weaken the party before 2027 election? So we'd like to hear your views in the comment section below. Thank you so much for being with us. See you soon. Emerald el-Rufai is my name.